Hello, everybody. Hello. And forgot to open up one thing to actually allow me to wave. Hello. 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 Hello and welcome to the stream. My stream, this very stream. You know what? Since you've come to the stream, after it, go get yourself something good to eat. Because this is going to be a great stream, and you know what? It's also going to make you a little bit hungry. And so you should go eat something afterwards. Why is it going to make you hungry? I don't know, but that's just my guess. Hello and welcome to stream. I am Little Old Red in case you're new here and or forgot the name of the channel that you clicked on. And I hope your day's going well. Hope you've eaten before this stream so you're not extra hungry later. And if not, hopefully this stream will turn all around. And yeah, still hopefully you just... Actually, no, I messed up the intro. Hold on. Hope your day's been good. Hope your week's been good. If not, hopefully this stream will turn it all around. And I don't know how I'm going to incorporate the food bit into that. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you there. I think I've lost it. I could have workshopped that bit a little bit beforehand, but... What's the point of that? You know, we're live. We do everything live. We have improv story Mondays, for goodness sakes. Everything's live. Everything I say is live. I can't hide. I really can't. No, I cannot. But welcome to stream. I don't really have much news today. Oh yeah, actually, I do. I do have something to share. And that thing to share is simple. You see, you know how I said that next Friday, that's my 1-year anniversary? It's the week after that. It's Black Friday. That's my 1-year anniversary. I forgot what day my 1-year anniversary was on. That's just sad. Really, it's just kind of sad. I've never had a moment like that before, and yet here I am, having forgotten. Ashamed of myself. But to make up for that shame, I'm going to be playing a little indie game I found that I got for like $5. I believe it was like $5. It was on sale. That's how I get a lot of my games. It was on sale, like $5, called Roadwarden. And it seemed like as like a little fun indie game, like a text-based adventure. And I was curious about it. And so that is what we're going to be playing today. Very small. Didn't get big. Okay, there we go. It was like very small for a minute. Maybe I put myself in the corner. And I am ready to play Roadwarden. I'm excited for this game. This short intro today. Short intro. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. Actually, hold on. There's a little cursor. Hold on. Capture cursor. Look at this. Little arrow. It improved. Welcome to Roadwarden's anniversary patch. Oh. I guess I probably could have read that. New game, please. Everyone knows to stay away from the... I'm just going to turn that off. It's distracting me now that I know it's being shown up on OBS side of things as well. Everyone knows stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and the highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, a respectable one, and it pays well. I'll leave the city walls, or I still have my doubts. Well, I mean, the game is called Roadwarden. They go difficulty mode. The choice cannot be altered later on. Casual for those focused on the story, no time limit, more cash at the start, some quests, and more forgiving. For those familiar with RPGs, 40-day time limit, regular rule set. For returning Roadwardens, 30-day time limit, increased nighttime damage. I say I'm a little bit familiar with RPGs. Oh, we have ads. I don't know when those started, so we're gonna just wait a moment for them to be over. So like minute 9:30, the time 9:30. Okay, so I guess it's like a text-based, like I said, it's a text-based adventure RPG kind of thing. That is what this game is about. That's what it is. And we have 40 days. Interesting. I like this music though. I just feel like I'm gonna go out and be a cowboy on the road. Do that job that all them cowboys love to do. Oh, it's over. Ads are over. Well, advanced options? No, I think we just stick with standard here. We're standard, guys. We can manage that. The wall is still standing. This is like a text-based adventure. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around. No stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You're supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices. No sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk nor trolls. And the night is near. Your pal Frey breathes heavily. It had a long day. Just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. Sneak to the gate and peek inside. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of a long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bring your back, legs, comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Okay. An hour 30 before dusk. I feel well. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from a city harbor. I look around cautiously. People inside the camp didn't even notice the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grass barely cover the arid soil of this valley. But you're maybe a minute away from the edge of spare woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail's a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's only around north. They don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mate with a head covered in iron hangs at his side. He doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gabison, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. He asks them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Friendly, be supportive and cordial. Use a joke or witty comment. Hide your emotions. Hint at threat. Verbal. You can influence how they're perceived by selecting one of their attitudes. Just curious, I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? I'll do that. The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. Though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece, all by yourself. Better... Oh, I'm all laggy on... Oh, yes. There we go. Better bring your beast here. As Lieutenant. We have no hay, but I keep on messing it up. Like, I mess up which voice I meant to do. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. Long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I trust them. I'm gonna save, though. I don't want people to call you. Oh, you know. Red. Just call me Red. Little old Red is fine. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. You don't need to smell its dung. Ah, there's one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snores anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's only taller than you. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle with a single breath. Most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to Dragonwoods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only company here. I want it to feel at ease. I don't care how it feels if I need it to be strong, if I want to travel and I can't afford another one. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead to this is a lot of reading. I gotta work on my reading skills. Attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. How much? Half an hour. Wow, that really went by. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than its shabby grass. You should look for an inn. You need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Save. You're a fighter. I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Or mage, I have a talisman that helps me use my powers, as well as an iron axe. And warden gambeson, or scholar, I carry writing instruments and alchemy ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a warden gambeson, and a small healing potion. Want to learn more about the 3 classes. As a fighter, you'll have an easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than other classes, but opens unique opportunities. That's an interesting word to use. Opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. A fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality points drop to 0. Okay. The mage. The mage uses Penema. I think that's pronounced that. A versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage, you'll be able to heal faster while resting. Detect magic is in a mysterious area, distract a beast with a simple trick, and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's power too freely will result in having no Penema left when you need it most. Okay, so you gotta use it sparingly. Scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you even if you are a scholar, it'll know more than you. Your class, you'll have a disembodied voice just like appear and then just tell you everything that is happening and just end up explaining it all for you. That is how the scholar works. Helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. Interesting. Well, this is my first time playing a text-based like RPG, so I am gonna put the cursor back in because I'm using it to see it on the screen. I've been doing this the entire time, so like I'll just do it. I haven't played a text-based RPG yet, so I'm thinking fighter because that says it's the best class for RPG beginners. So I'll be a fighter. If we really replay this game, I think we can go back. You unpack and inspect your belongings. The water skin isn't pierced. Spare clothes are still here, just in case. Oh, okay. Unless you're occupied with another task, you can eat food, drink potions, and use your items from this menu. Be sure to click on each new item you receive, as some of them can have unusual applications. Food rations. It consists of a dried meat, crackers, nuts, seed, fruit, and water. Spoil slowly, but don't require additional cooking. A pouch of coins. The city artisans make coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. They are valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. The gambeson. A padded, offensive jacket made of linen filled with rags is the cheapest type of armor. It's surprisingly effective and, as a result, very common. The travel set. Your sack contains all sorts of useful tools. A well-crafted battle axe. Traveling with an axe shows that you'll learn how to fight humans and human-sized monsters, while having a weapon made of steel makes it clear that you are someone to be reckoned with. A crossbow. Difficult to make and valued for their usefulness. A crossbow can be used even by an inexperienced traveler and can pierce most scales and armor. Interesting. Okay, now I can actually read this. The spare clothes are still here, just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tindered box, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing too special or cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it in various settlements. Interesting. I will return to the soldiers. Okay. They're at the table again, observing your beasts and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. I thank them for the meal, but don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tulia what she can tell me about this area. I join them and take a look at the meal. I'm hungry. It's called gruel meat. It's called gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hot millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humbled one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Jeez. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They settle down and engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce. Settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. You can find your supplies in your inventory. You experience no penalties and bonuses. I'll have one. Can't use your inventory right now. Food rations are only eaten when necessary. Okay. Eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Tulia. Oh, nice. Look at that. Yeah, I still can't do that. I saved them. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there is not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in these lands, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. What I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received. Since this area is too far away from Hovlavan, to keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed, unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses or find what they are looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chain makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Roadwarden officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast, such as this one, is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. And as she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we traveled to the roadside inn, held to the north, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post. And, well, he turns to Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Red, but are you a devout soul? Oh, interesting. Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm a part of a united church. For many years, I supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth. Ancestry, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teaching of an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, puena, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have my place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, and followed the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by city folk. You probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right existence. I'll explain my magic. No, I'm not. It's a good question. So I feel like this is going to have certain outcomes depending on what we choose. I still go with this one. I like the sound of overcoming threats of nature and dark magic. Like, just to help people. I want to be considered a good guy. I like the thought of being considered a good guy. Even though I don't want to... This is going to have some... This sounds interesting, but not a good starting one, because some people are going to be like, oh, you're pagan? Oh, God. They're like, oh, I don't want to trade with you. No, this one. Your fellow unite, the man smiles. Though in this land, it won't bring you much good. At least we can discuss the topic freely, adds the lieutenant with a barely visible smile. Let's get into it. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with officials here. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here, she starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing to an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy stuff, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once they saw it, I begged to never return there. You see, you heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, Its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its member about crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages. The bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. About monsters. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mountain fawn eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. We're able to speak with the necromancers. You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it. The lieutenant chuckles. Maybe he'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to northwest. If you're headed to the undead village, you'll get to that inn first, and soon. Julia nods. Pelts of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. Well, and how about the East? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell, we went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw tunnels sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Interesting. That's all I need to know. He nods. I'm afraid we can't do any more for you. I forget we have this huge list of things we're just talking about here. Any idea what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him in almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on the wax table of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, a Astarian never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of us locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. Alright, the man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or he's Syrian. Something ate him, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating Syrians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from any monsters. Interesting. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what it was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Astarian's stuff. Wait! She raises an open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Overlund. I was planning to take all of his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. Do you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She just dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commander for further orders. Since she hasn't returned, you know nothing about her. She either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovelon together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hovelon in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about you taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, stout, long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing. She sits down and stretches out her legs. To find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left. Just let me know. Didn't have a quest. You need to confirm a note you're editing to save it. Find the Roadwarden. Got it. Ads have started recently. I'm gonna go get some water for a real quick second. My throat's really dry. But we'll be back momentarily after the ads. Enjoy. I'll be here. Did you miss me? Our ads over? We're good? I think ads are over. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happen and monsters. A strong band though is both men? His companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap. If the armed ones pretend to be soldiers, stay there at night, lose everything you have. So, when you get to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living at this camp. So watch out for a camp. It's bandits. Actually, I forgot to read what that just said. Sounds like slave hunters. Oh. To the size, very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, adds the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make any mistakes. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well? Nothing that would surprise you. Those who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader. and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt. So a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough. Didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She let out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off as what? Hold on a moment. They had to cut off his hand? And he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. Jeez. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Tulia seems tired. And who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. How did you become a lieutenant? I'm gonna skip past the rope. I'm gonna do that one laugh. Not laugh. That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges a look with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Overlord Chief selects commanders. Those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but it failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding the shields. Really unpleasant. Pauses. And you were the third one in line, is that right? Jumping like that to save a man in the middle of an attack doesn't sound like a wise decision. Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyway. What was your squad's mission? The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual, making the roads safe, keep people alive. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions... Anything I should know about this camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys, just between the inn and the southern villages. There is plenty of grass here and ponds nearby. When the peninsula grows more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here whenever you want. The man concludes their tale. Though you don't expect to wake up without a pain in your back. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled. Mentions Tulia, but the hunters will tell you about this and that, and they'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression on him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay, worth noting. I lost my rope. Could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates. Sigh and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Fine rope, a regular rope made of hemp fibers. I take it and offer some food in return. I'm gonna be nice. Tulia leans forward and rests her forearm on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands, then meets your eyes. I'd normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our groats, looking for worms and putridity. We forage, but it's not a great spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. For now, you leave the rope on the table. It's getting late, we should prepare for the night. I agree, Tulia sighs for relief. And may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Oh. Thank you for your help, ma'am. One more thing, if I can. The bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Splitting time between 3 people makes a great difference. You think for a moment. To fully rest, you'll need a good sleep. Sure. Fabulous! You pats your shoulder. It should be calm, at least before midnight. Wake me up in a few hours, or even earlier if anything happens. I smile. I'm happy to do my part. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. The horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. Stay tight to have a better chance to influence others. You don't stand out from the crowd. You won't get much cleaner without a proper bath. Prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump out over palisade here. Probably. Better watch out for apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud whirleek that keeps smelling the wall. Oh, weird. It was never tried to get in. I think it just really likes the smell of wood or something. I don't understand. He points at the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking... Oh no, an ad break. Anyways, Welcome, Declan. Welcome to the stream. To you too. Anyone comes here looking for a shelter, better call us to help you out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. And the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. Watchtower. He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here. He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view at the northern side. The more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points at the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple of hours sleeping on the ground if you wish. Go there after me and rest. Just this once. At least have a pallet inside. Oh, that's nice. Thanks a lot. I see the full map. Put your blanket on the tallest crate. It's nighttime. And sit down. This might be warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the taller grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see a 3-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beast tries to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight, nor to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. You hear the deaf screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking the bearded man with just a couple of words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the pallet, and cover myself with my cloak. I like that the music has, like, stopped and it's just the sound of, like, the frogs and the creatures. I was talking during some parts, but I could, like, occasionally hear, like a monster or something. It's interesting. I can come on as you hear it, see if we can hear it again. It feels like you're in nature. I like it. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's much welcome rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. Listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. The job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchants Guild wants me to take control of this realm. Your wandering duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Haviland, officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Oh, are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time, 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Haviland. There, you'll report back to your employer and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goals to pursue. Oh. I guess, hold on. Actually, wait, press the wrong button. Journal. Journal! I've explored the peninsula. Let's leave for the 40th day. And gotta learn what I can about that guy. Roadwarden. Before I became the Roadwarden, this peninsula, a man known as Asterion used to patrol these roads. If I manage to find out what happened to him and bring the news to Tulia from the southern camp, I'll receive his abandoned belongings. Okay, here is my personal goal. Here are my options. I need to gather some extra coins so I can save my sibling from debt collectors. Okay. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I use them to become a major player in the Merchants Guild. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. I want to help people make this region safer for locals and newcomers alike. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past, and I want it to be forgotten. Those are our options. I want to help people. I'm kind of thinking between I want to help people and be, like, remembered as a hero. This one sounds like it could be interesting. Become a hero? I'm thinking about that, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna save this place. Bring peace and order to the realm. New shelter unlocked. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sound of wild forests. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You can't travel during the night to press the sleep button to rest. Thinking about your goal, but you need to gather strength. And now we have become a hero. So now, all I can do is rest. Sleeping in a tent. You can now spend the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it'll protect you from the wind and rain, and the ground won't be painfully hard nor cold. Okay. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice the weird smell. Like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. The horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. You go outside to see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pier. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Red, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. Oh, thank you. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or a female. It was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple of hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter, young one. She lacked the enema to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours, and each moment it spends in the fog. Burning the dead is not just religious practice; it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens, making a large appear takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most Unites hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happens to the Starion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales. But yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you're going to experience in the days to follow. Returns to the pier. I prepare myself for the journey. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. Put on your gambeson and make sure that your axe is, I use the travel button to see the map and move to another area, is tightly attached to your belt. Then get in the saddle. Your palfrey knickers ready to leave. It's time for you to get on the crossroads north from here. When is I'm gonna check. Can I eat? You can't do that right now. Okay. Can't eat. Oh, a winged hourglass. Steel pendant hanging from the leather strap. It's common to wear such jewelry to demonstrate one's allegiance to the right. Okay, and we also have the rope. Travel. Travel forward to continue your journey. Knickers just caught me off guard there. I haven't heard any Americans say that before. We can't make this kind of joke here. Travel north. We can't make that joke on stream. Even at later hours, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. Red, I just hear what I'm thinking. No, Knicker. Nickers. Jeez, we're gonna have some problems. Okay, even at late hours, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward. But the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You, with an American accent, please never say that word again for your own good. Yeah, I plan to. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins that are larger than foxes and merge the feathers of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they are too heavy to fly. About 2 dozen beasts are yelling, crawling and chasing each other around, blocking your path. and consider my options. Okay. Marks an action that involves a random chance. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the ticket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main road as possible. Sorry, I had something in my throat. And why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Twilio. You got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. If you have any vitality points, you can use the Warrior's Training Axe to access unique interactions. Let's save. Where this is. Oh, okay. Cutting through them should be easy enough. Initially, your horse completely trusts your guidance, though after a few more steps, it snorts. You prepare an axe and get ready to push away any griffin willing to jump on you. Once you get in the middle of the surprised herd, your mount squeals and gallops forward. The creatures in front of you flee, but others try to jump at you from both sides. You kick two of them away, and while the third one gets close, its beak lands only on your boot. The hard leather keeps you safe. You ride away, and the griffin can't keep up. You still hear the screeches when your mount slows down. I don't give them an opportunity to catch up with me. Alright. Went pretty well. Reach the first crossroads. Okay. I gotta think about the characters. Of course, while your vitality is above 0, you find ways to overcome physical struggles. Road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find safe in by turning left. The forest to the right is lush, and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go? The harshest pathways lead to the dragon's lair. The harshest pathways leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? Signpost in front of you makes your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say, danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. Look at my horse. What is it? What's our horse's name? What are we gonna name our horse? Any ideas? Any horse name ideas? 14 hours still does. 39 days before autumn. Billy Bob. Billy Bob. All one word. Billy Bob is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can help you choose a path, but you spent years together. Happy to go on. It takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and a wild cabbage, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Okay, interesting. It seems safest just to turn left. If we just got here, I mean, we are stronger. I know there's danger over there, but it'd be good to like know with the locals and all that. We're gonna explore west. Billy Bob trots with ease, unbothered by a few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs in distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparse and brighter. Spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you. Once you push your hips forward, and your palfrey enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin the pursuit. Speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a strong stone tower, taller than the trees. It must be the inn I've heard about. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers guarded by expensive Mercenaries. Surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. Am I able to eat? I feel like I should. Can't use. Okay. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed not only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the building. In the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. Jeez, words. English. 3 armed people on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet, right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gabardines, each one of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and linen gray. I approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of color doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I ain't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large... I'm trying to find a workaround for that swear, but my brain isn't letting me, huh? Her voice is young and strong with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Hovland. But no jerk will wear a saddle, I say. But no horse will wear a saddle, I say. She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there's really are donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? How about you give it a try? You wouldn't believe it, the lessons were a pain. It's easy to learn the basics, but it's tiring. You train... Don't answer her, it's an inn, isn't it? Open the gate. I'll like just kind of like do a little bit of a laugh, like a little bit, hey, I'll be playful. She's being playful to me. So I think I'll be playful back. We'll go back and forth. You have the horse and immediate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey. When your whole shell was crying, you illustrate the pain as you move your hands from your back to hips, then thighs. In return, the guards tell you about that time when they had to carry their friend with bitten off legs for 3 days straight. Jeez. Through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. You may be in a good mood, the woman in the yellow jacket smiles at you, but you don't get so noisy when you talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has the world's suffering sculpted on his face. She leads you under the roof. She leads you under the roof under which your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready to go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry? The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're spitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head towards the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a board from the other side of the yard. Open the door. Oh, this is a nice place. The locked window makes the air stuffy and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice says, oh, if you're at the inn in the morning, you can spend the entire day on resting. His voice is deep and soft with a city-like accent. He observes you with a keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I've keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog, myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon. Today, maybe. And even we don't drink here before the eve. And I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. An elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. I stand at the counter. Planks let out a creak after each step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made no to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pallet to the north doesn't belong to Hovland. You can keep on the floor if you wish so. But if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I need to check. So we were told, hold on. Archive. We were told way back in the... like way back here, that he doesn't smile at all. I guess it's not showing up, but he doesn't smile. It's like just straight to business is what it likes. So it's like straight to business. I won't stay here long, I'll introduce myself. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. Guess there's no point in waiting for us Darian then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see the healers of Howler's Dell. And they're more than resourceful. A Roadwarden is always going to find work here in the north. Though maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break for a brief moment. For a brief moment, he meets your eyes. Drink the ale. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The lead spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic liqueur ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with the worrying thought I have. Which is... there are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid to open strike. But they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day, they may steal our furs. And I have no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. Rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach the Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest summit around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Theus, the mayor, about Glossia, a bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north of Glossia's. If Glossia's ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? Yeah, that seems fine. Great, what else you need? I could eat something. Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. Bargain for 3, come on. Oh, I don't want to ruin my trust with them. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending it with a hook. I don't want to be greedy. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full and you'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long curved claw, almost black. I'll do it. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Ah, the berries are not a problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook. Protect your hands. Little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. I have other questions. I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down. With him, I don't think I'm going to be much help. He rests his elbows on the table and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so... When asked about his intentions, he measures his word. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins. My half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist, anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looked at the window, starts to play with the shutter. I think Asterion ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go he needs to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So, you'll let me know once you find anything, and we may return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. What can you tell me about the peninsula? What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I call everything from here to the coast? A hunting ground. Glances at your eyes. But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in heart. But the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, with which is strengthened by his deep voice. I lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reason to stay at the warm stove behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the window. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. Are the eastern roads as tough as I've heard? Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here, you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend a night there. The monkeys stole food and gods from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch. But you know, the eastern forests are wild. The roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. You stay on track until you reach the crossroads, right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll recognize the place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow, surrounded by a wall. It looks towards the closed window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives as a hermit. Eudokia. I don't know. Eudocia, that's how I pronounce it, not Eudokia. Jeez. I don't know how she survives there, but if you don't have a decent coin, you won't find much there. So back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. It connects to the tower and the monastery. A shortcut between the two sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals to not use it. It already belongs to the beasts. Will I find traveling west? Well, there are hills nearby. Then you'll find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by a beast almost a decade ago. Nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it, and they say it's haunted. But who knows? Who cares? He crosses his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mentioning pagans as if there is nothing unusual about them. There's a small path south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there. Keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Den. It's at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and Mouflons and druids. They let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to Ape Ale in yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I'll return the smile politely. And only a bit about the next settlement, Old Pegasus. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in quarry and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh. The Seekers have a small monastery nearby in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves. They don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me. White marshes set at the bogs. I've heard it smells like Griffin's lair. I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about the place. I don't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So 3 villages. Howler's, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and marshes. Don't let its beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he would tell other travelers as well. You ever been to the northern coast? I only know about another inn that's far from here, maybe a day on foot. A little less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place. Close to villages, or fishers and hunters. Though I don't know much about them. All I need to know. I didn't expect to find an inn. Oh, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for previous owner. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade. Not enough travelers, bad trade. The villages stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared, and now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on gifts. We're the ones doing all the trading. The hunters are a clever bunch. I should realize that clock is moving fast. And stay safe in the forest in exchange for furs, claws, and bones. We get what we need and more, both from the south and north. He relaxes on his chair. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears. But in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough saving to move Haviland and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. Is there any good story behind the inn's name? I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years, I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in my city, it would be a bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap, had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, the Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful. I think the good places use at least 2 words: empty barrel, a rose and a helmet, Empress's smile, pig head was the exception. It was a real dive. Chuckles. In my soul, it's still just the pelt. Pelts are what we came here for and what will make us reach our goals. Now let's about this. I ain't seen a soul like this since my ma died. He shrugs. It's not a fascinating tale. Let's just say I wasn't part of the invasion. Yet I'm glad it freed all those who were chained by the cities and their corsairs. He looks at the wall. I'm Lassen, by the way, but I rarely hear that name. About the band. He freezes, observing your hand silently. Once we get the answers from the mayor of Hallorsden. I'm on it. Any rumors worth sharing? He crosses his arms. I don't like talking about people who ain't nearby, but you know what you're doing. What are you wondering about? Tell me about. What were the people we were talking to before? I am curious about Rosia. How do you pronounce her name? Rosia. I met her more than once. She's older than me, wrinkled, tanned. I don't know how she's survived for so long. I've heard she's from the coast. I don't really know her story. Hold on, we have a bot on Twitch's end. Why must you always come into my chats, bots? Leave! Be gone with ye! It's gone. Safe now. It won't fear us anymore. Strong, though inconvincing, she wants to move our band to Pelt. Make cuts in the countryside. When I told her to leave, she didn't make a scene or anything. But her face was chilling. He looks at the stove, and she may want revenge. I'll see it as a cruel soul. A scary shell. How about... What was the other lady? Her name was... Character sheet? What was the name of the lady we were talking to before? Ah, how do you spell her name? Starts with a T. She's at the camp. Hold on. We can actually look back at the VODs. We can learn her name. I actually don't know her companion's name. Tulia. Her name is Tulia. This is my hope that I can actually learn her companion's name. Tulia. I ain't seen Tulia in quite some time since her squad vanished in the fogs. She's been careful. Glad to know she's still alive. She's too inexperienced to lead others to battle, I think. He shrugs. Like most people, she needs to follow others, but she already knows that. There's nothing worse than a fighter too stupid to limit their ambitions. Alright, that's all I need to know. You step outside, Billy Bob is looking around. At this hour, the armorer's workshop is closed. I'm gonna approach the guards. The woman in yellow armor is kneeling next to the brown hairy boar, which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones from the forest. It responds to the touch of the human's hand and brush with the grateful grunting and rapid twitches of a hind hoof. No matter how friendly it appears, it still is tethered to the well, and you have no doubts that its charge would leave Billy Bob dead in a breath. When the woman notices you, she steps forward to the boar's disappointment. So, the new Roadwarden. She points at the window with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we can use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaging the touch, the time of an unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing your boots and fruitlessly sniffing for food beneath the beaten ground. She pats it back, but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time and talk a bit about this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple of coins or lose one. She winks. We could play dice or throw axes at a target. I gotta go pick some berries, but, you know, I'll play some axe. We'll throw an axe. I'll save those in case. Your rival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, your rival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcome. The guards prepare a couple of wooden planks, which are leaning against the wall. You're also spectators, and you're told the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty on the tower. Remember, no magic, says one of the players. His face is deadly serious. There's going to be 4 participants in 8 rounds. You aim at the target, drawn with charcoal. The person who lands closest to the center of the circle gets a point. Axes that fail to stand and the planks don't count. The person who has the most points at the end of the last turn becomes the winner. I blend in with the group. You take a lot, but it doesn't... You talk a lot, but also don't say much. You share casual jokes, memories, and views on luck and optimal strategies. Billy Bob and Tullius Camp are also brought up. When you ask about the roads and locals, their stories are vague. Drinks are here. It's a pour beer made from leftovers out of the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head. You try to avoid the smell. Just don't slip anything. Don't spill anything. The boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. As a guest, you start with the first throw. Your axe flies well, hitting the very middle of the painted target and piercing the plank with a pleasant thud, which makes it really difficult for the other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round. You can't expect that to be lucky every time. I've trained in axe throwing for years. I've got this. Even though you get 2 points, the guards yell, like, aim one more. Yes, she raises her fists and nods to spectators. Cheeky pride. After you give her a coin, she looks at you with eyes. She looks you in the eyes with a smile. Alright, well, we had fun. We tried. We're just down to 4. We can manage. Ever been in the heart of the woods? Well, tell me about yourself. Oh, what was that? After a brief giggle, her voice gets cold and serious. Nah, Roadwarden. We use names to stories among friends. You ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. Okay. Ever been in the heart of the woods? We sometimes hunt south from here. There are good hunting grounds in the western half. Maybe the soil is different. In the western half, the second one is too overgrown. Maybe the soil's different? She shrugs, then moves the hair away from her forehead. But it's a risky spot. There are treants there and wolves, even the furthest ones. And if you have to go through the tall grasses, watch out for what's on the ground. There ain't many archers in the trees. She smiles as if it's a joke. But there are all too many worms, even larger than water leeches. The innkeeper asked me to forage for berries. She chuckles. Oh, don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves. We wouldn't ask you for a dragon for a meal. He gives a small job to people all the time, just to see who agrees to do them. Wants to judge who's of use and who's too proud of their own good. If you've agreed, just be sure to get those berries today and don't try to make his tools away. He hates thieves. I have some questions about this place. Not much to tell, honestly. There are many beasts around, both wild games and dangerous monsters. We spent our time surrounded by these walls, leaving only to hunt, forage, and trade. This is interesting. Tower. Like in Hovelin, fair, but it ain't here to protect the gate. This stronghold was built before we moved in, and not to fight off humans. The tower is meant to be used by those who observe the deep forest. We look out for fires, dragons, and any winged creatures that are looking to roost up on the roof. Sadly, she nods towards a man who indeed is completely bald. Oh, there's a guy talking. Has a great eye, and as she sees Baldy, has a great eye and sees well in even the darkness. Any interesting creatures live nearby? Here, everything lives here. She flips her hair. I swear, we saw a few dragons, a unicorn family, a battle between trolls, and a goblin. Faced 2 beastmen, a gargoyle. And a hunting queen shouts all the time. I could tell you about them, but I won't. She winks and pats the boar on its head. You know, hunters have their secrets. This group seems to be quite attached to this boar. How could you not be? She crouches and raises the boar's head, but it steps away and squeals as if someone's murdering it. The came with us from the city just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat, and it works. It works too, cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beasts again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased sigh. We haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly. Kind of like ibexes. So it's not such a wild, dangerous beast, but we don't let it get close to other animals or children. What do you usually hunt for? Anything we can eat or sell. If there's a partridge, a squirrel, or a rat, we don't complain, but when we move up as a group, we look for something larger. Deers and arches are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people would use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses and looks at a strand of her hair, then suddenly speaks up again. And we look for furs, of course. What can I do? What can I find north from here? I'm sorry, we don't really go to those regions. We stay close to home, only sometimes move south or west to Howler's Dell. But only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need, since they then take wares to the coast. She takes a long breath, twirling her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never seen a beach. I've been living here for I've been living here for more than 10 years now. She giggles. The only part of the sea I've seen was from Old Pagos, which is placed on a hill. I never put a toe in salt water. She looks towards the other huntress, who confirms that her experiences is the same. But Old Pagos is a good place, as long as you don't mock their order and act nice. They will also be kind. Boss says they're too serious for him to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. Have you heard anything from the necromancers? It's something new, her voice lowers to a whisper. I've never been to White Marshes, but over the years we've seen people moving away from there, south. They told us that the place has changed too much. A priest died, I think, and the new one awakens the dead. Sorry, Roadwarden, that's all I know. If she's hiding something, she sounds convincing. Like for knowledge about wild creatures. Well, I told you our knowledge is valuable. I don't know. Well, I told you our knowledge is valuable. I don't know. She looks at the boar, which seems to be obsessed with a clump of grass growing next to the wall. 15 dragons, no less. Is there any discount for friends? Well, I guess you're not friends. There. I'll walk away. I'll go forest the berries. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs and hooks keep them at their distance. You don't know much about these berries. They are round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so you make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through the many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. I gather the berries and go back to the inn. You return to the country yard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. Enter the inn. Blocked window. You again. Need something? Put the berries on the counter. Great! He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chokes for you. I'd serve it even to merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I've said, I rarely have any food to spare. Feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I'll be cooking my whole life. Thanks. And how that old hook of mine work out for you? I still have your hands. I give him the hook. I'm fine. He takes the hook from you and nods. Anything else? That'll be all. Let's go to the well. I recently renovated wooden roof, covers the well. There's one piece of bathing equipment to get more of this place. Okay, step away. Into the armor. You walk past the well and find a small open shed, unlike the stable, but with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening tools, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are two people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with a great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who is wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening his long dagger. Greetings. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks. Focus on his task. Ain't talking. Tell him what it is you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around, shrugs, and returns with a raised eyebrow. You will even stop at life-threatening strike with your current garrison. It's best. Can you patch my clothes so they were torn? He shakes his head and points at the uneven seams of his own tunic, then grabs a crude bone needle and shows you its broken head. We wouldn't, even if he had the tools, says the boy. But you can try in Howler's Den or Gale Rocks. Thanks. I look at the youngster. Learning the trade, I see. Kind of, he answered reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee. Giving him a harsh look, the kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it, seeing your face. The boy chuckles. He said safe. It's me in the middle, boring, but safe. The man nods. Alright, I say we travel. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so I actually probably could move to the other, well, that would cover some of the text. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna move over here. We're able to see all the stuff in my travel guide. I'll let you know if there's anything new that appears on here. The road uphill meanders slowly, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention, not only to the shadows of the trees, but also the tight rocky passages. Can't help but notice a few caves and find ambush spots. Keep an eye out for any sign of life. A ruined village. Alright, so the safe water source, meals and supplies, nighttime shelter, daytime rest. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps. No steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs. Their fluttering, singing, and squawking is free of worries. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to the village. The sounds of a gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. Take a close look at the gate. The palisade is in good shape, and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of used force must have been huge, but you would expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. Something broke out. Interesting. You don't see any marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks. After so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? Can't really tell. Approach the building near the field. The broken logs and planks are charred, while the wooden walls are rotten and covered in moss. You You see no ashes or dust, proving that the fire happened long ago. It smells awful in there, and no reason to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends were already taken by scavengers. Explore the southwest part of the village. Building of some of which have collapsed are made of wood, now charred and rotten. Spot claw marks of the walls, especially close to the doors and window frames. They could belong to a dragonling or a large wolf, larger than the gray ones, or a corpse eater. Too many options to make a guess. But no beast remains in sight. You'll find the remains of clothes, furniture, odds and ends. Only one object seems to be of use. A basket-like fish trap made of vines and willow branches. If a large fish swims into it, it won't be able to get out on its own. Oh, it's quite large, but I can fit it on my saddle. I picked up the fish trap. It's kind of like go around the village a little bit. Find a small backyard. The group is beaten. The grass is grown. The ground is beaten. The grass grows only right next to the building. It would have been a fair spot for training dancers and fighters. The stakes of the palisade are covered with playful carvings left by children who were training monsters, weapons, and humans. The rubble has been pushed into the corner of the house. The furniture is broken, but you find something of use in one of the piles. A slightly rusty piece of steel. As you pull it out, you realize it's a quarrel for a crossbow is still usable. It won't be difficult to find use for that. Let's inspect the field. You're surrounded by what looks like a field, plowed by in late autumn, stirred by hundreds of rains and snowfalls. There's a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself into a green leaf. Barren field, it was overused, but you would still expect the weeds to sprout. Curse? The path leading west from here ends at the edge of the field, shifting into meadows, then a forest. In the north, you see a path leading around the palisade. I'll have time to investigate. The closer you are to the village, the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. You taste gastric juices. You hit your mouth. Your forehead hurts. You start to stumble. Billy Bob, worried about the sight, pokes your head with his nose. Interesting. I guess I gotta push through. Nope, that was a bad idea. Reload. I know. I'm just gonna go to the areas that I already went to. Let's go to the fields, yep. Walk away from the walls. Leaning on your mount, you go outside, keeping your mouth shut. After a few minutes, your eyes get clear. It may be better to leave, or at least stay away from the village for the rest of the day. Expect the palisade in the west. The tracks of human footwear and many more ape footprints cover the path formed around the palisade breach. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. The wooden stakes spread to the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms. A good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for birds and eggs. The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. The grasses of the north surround dozens of tree stumps already covered with moss and fungi. Going south, you reach a large field, though you don't see any crops. You shouldn't enter the forest, especially not this area. It's unpredictable. Let's go to the pasture. You don't find a single sign of livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at the river on the opposite bank. the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable from the rider. What are the chances that a herd of defenseless animals could get there to survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find an axe cuts in the spot that were ultimately broken away. After all these years, there are no tracks that you can follow. Inspect the clearing. The meadow is lush and colorful and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple minutes, you lead Billy Bob with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar to having comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by locals. Though cutting so many trees at once, that alone could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the west and north, the clearing turns into wild forest. In the east, you see a road leading north. I'll leave the clearing. Yeah, we'll keep going north. You're at the closed northern gate. The neglected road is practically overgrown. You hear a river in the east, separated by lush meadow, followed with crickets and rodents. I take a closer look at the gate. You push or pull, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath and all around it, seemingly to keep planks stuck in the ground. Yeah, we'll leave. Go to the river. So this is the village. So we know it's here now. You see a quenching family of boars, some of them brown, some black. You consider turning back, but they pay a little attention. After a couple of grunts, they run north. The river is not too wide, yet unusually deep, with banks altered by the locals for decades, if not centuries. The water is cold and clean, yet filled with long plants growing from the bottom. You would rather avoid jumping inside or drinking from it, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck, and hands. Dozens, if not hundreds, of small fish are looking for tasty leaves, but also try to avoid their predators. A dance of life, completely unaware of your presence. You suddenly realize there's something else buried among the kelp. A rusty sickle sticking out of the ground, a couple of stone axes, and hoes. The wooden handles in a large wagon are covered with moss, but you recognize their shape. Why would someone drop them here? On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. Turn back. I'll consider watching myself. The living stream filled with fish and plants won't help you much. You need at least one piece of bait equipment to get out of this one. I'll set up the fish trap. You place the basket on the ground, then grab a bowl and start digging. Look for a few larger worms. You bait the stick but push it aside the basket, blocking it between the sides, then cover the entrance with a lid. Tying it all together takes a few good moments, but it'll be easier later on. You attach the entire trap to a bush and push it into the stream, far enough that it sinks entirely. Who knows how long it'll take before something large enough swims inside. Still, it would be better to not wait too long, otherwise the prey might die of hunger. Okay. We can't enter the village anymore. We feel sick. So we keep on going west. You enter the wetlands with their many streams, ponds, and fish. Large birds and flies begin between the gray, sparse trees that are covered with moss and mushrooms and critters. For a human, it may be unwelcoming and harsh realm, but the overwhelming swarms of insects prove that it's a realm full of life. The dangerous with teeth and claws is hidden below the water's surface. I step away from the banks. Oh, where are we now? A large tree. Descriptive. This plant shouldn't be alive, not without leaves. It doesn't resemble the other trees of the wetlands. It's something else. You get off your horse and prepare your axe. The water is filled with dirt and dead plants, and it smells like an old corpse. The roots are spreading far, breaking through the water's surface. You don't see any saurians in the grasses or on the shore. You approach the table-like altar made of 3 limestone slabs. Were these rocks originally as formless as they are now, or was there a point in time centuries ago when they were precisely sharpened, shaped and decorated by masters of artistry? There's no way to tell. Billy Bob is... I'm sorry. It's like such a serious moment. Like, oh, there's a mysterious tree here. And we got Billy Bob. He's also here. Whatever it is that you feel in the air, it's clear that your companion sees this place through very different eyes. Save. Quick save. A smile and scratch at the bottom of his neck. Go ahead, I'll look around for just a moment. Or I know there are dark forces hidden in here. I ask the right for a vigilant eye and a bright soul. Let's go with that one. You bow your head, trying to imagine an appropriate ritual. Wherever you start a thought, it runs away to the sounds of insects, visions of predators, smiles of muddy water. You rub your hands, focusing on what's in your grasp, collecting your wits slowly. It takes a few moments, but you start to breathing without sensing the stench. You arrange all the chaotic images into a cohesive utterance. Your prayer is belief. Once it's done, you feel prepared. You approach the altar. There's clumped dirt and uneven nicks, fused by years of wind and rain. The bottom surfaces of the table, but you don't find any spiderwebs or mold, even though it's a perfect spot for them. The tree roots cling to the altar in many spots. They're firmly attached. Struggle to move them even by an inch. The cream-colored limestone is cold and smooth. I don't think I really have anything to offer. Not really, no. I'm gonna walk away. Look in the water. You step cautiously without knowing how deep it gets. You have to consider that a saurian could be camouflaged in the mud, waiting for a victim to get near. Since you don't plan to kneel down or drink, you're hoping to dodge a potential strike. Once you get closer, you start breathing again. While the water is dirty, it's also shallow. You see the vegetation, swimming insects, and even small fish. All of them step away from the tree roots, which looks like a spiderweb covered the bottom of the pond. Aside from that, you don't see anything that would catch your attention. I'm going to take a closer look at the roots. You'll kneel in front of one of them that's lying on the shore. It's brown, covered with hair that resembles that of your arm. That on your arm. Eh. When you touch it, it's moist, soft, warmer than you expect. I do something with it. Oh. And you do nothing. Eh. I actually have to type it in. What do we want to do with this tree? Axe. Pull your axe and stop it in place. You can't tell what your result of wounding the tree would be. Good point. Seems like a weird tree. I guess I better get more information on this tree before I get it. I better spare it. You don't see any creatures nor humans. Okay. I'm gonna go this way. The shape of mountains are cutting through the horizon. The water gets gradually less muddy. 9 hours. The cleaner it gets, the more animals you see. A family of deer blocks the road, resting and enjoying cold water, which would be deadly for a human stomach. You consider riding... Right. You consider riding around them, though, the sparse meadow. But your presence also causes them disquiet. Without much haste, they regroup and run east into the leafy forest. I travel forward. You reach Hagg's Hill, the walls of stone that is blocked. The city's graphs, the one well-established route through them leads through the valley where you found Tullia's camp. There are no maps of the highlands, nor local tribes, only stories. The beaten path leads you by the garden beds of herbs and vegetables to an old, yet not abandoned mine, hidden beneath massive doors made of steel. I look around, there is no hitching rails for a mount. A bearded, skinny elder sits on still on a bench, observing you like a sculpture, with his legs crossed and fingers interlocked in his abdomen. Good day, dude. Don't worry about my horse. I'll keep it away from your garden. I mean, polite. Only worms too stupid to understand me would eat what's mine. You dismount and mention that your palfrey is no worm. But the man reprimands you with a thick accent. Let me see your whistle. Let me see your whistle. You speak. I can neigh here without magic, but I read your lips. He doesn't yell, but his voice reminds you of a combat instructor from the city. His face is wrinkled, but he sits straight, with the beard and hair still carrying glimpses of fair blonde. He's tanned like a worker, and his eyes are blue and piercing, as if they belong to an infant. You're nae from here, and I will nae welcome a stranger in this refuge. Say what you're looking for, and be gone. Plain who I am. What do you call him? Roadwarden. He stares off across the garden bed, forcing you to wait in silence. The elder is tall, with long hair and beard that was let loose a long time ago. His sandals are covered in dust, and you spot dirt on his clothes and skin. His sandals are, what I call him, and use the wool and tunic. I realized I just called him Road. Well, we got another Roadwarden now. His name is Roadwarden instead. We're gonna live with that. Yeah, we'll have that as his name. The woolen tunic and linen were made of care, decorated with colorful threads and the collar of sleeves. Now all the blue and greens have faded, and the fabric is held together by patches and stitches. His hands are still folded, his voice remains firm. You do nae know our customs, your name, your trade, you're calling me naething to the forest. I do nae know what you expect to find here, but this is a near place for a stranger. Wait for him to look at me. The man stands up and approaches your palfrey. Without touching it, he observes its eyes, mane, stomach, and rear. Billy Bob ignores the examination. Main knows is right, then. His target is dead, as are his plans. Such is the fate of all dreamers. Turns towards you with a grim look. Are you going to look for him? Nod. Why? If he's vanished into the fog, he'd nae point in putting yourself in danger. What do you expect to find? It's a job, is a reward for finding me. He may need my help. I need to know what kind of danger he's encountered. He said I want people to know about it. If someone's tried to make him disappear, they deserve to face justice. There's no reason why you need to know that. I say he may need my help. You believe that? That man with no power over animals could disappear into the wilderness and survive for that long? He lets out a chilling laugh. I bow to your optimism. He doesn't actually bow. If what you say is honest, then you and I could share our pals one day. Defending those who can, nay, help themselves is something that makes me whole. He takes a deep breath and smiles. You have some questions for me. So it's cold and confident. So what do you need? Have you met Astarion? He wanders among the garden beds from time to time, touching the leaves at hand. He was here more than once. He was nay one who stand aside and let events play out by themselves. The villagers from the north are sometimes in need of assistance, and Astarion was serving them as a messenger. He bends down and tears away a small, flowerless plant. He wanted to settle down among these roads, maybe to live freely. He had great plans and wanted to make this realm flourish, to rebuild the ruins, get rid of brigands, and clear the trade route. I told him that the forest needs many more people, and that his realm is to feed the cloth everyone. His greed and dreams have eaten him, and now he's nay more. He pauses, and you can hear his heavy breathing as if he's getting tired. Straighten up. And that's that, traveler. You want to know? Look for a shell. I travel north. Far north. People there should know where he is. Okay. What can you tell me about this place? Your eyes sees what the knows. What the does to know. People found copper in a cave has been abandoned for a long time now, so we turned it into a shelter. So close to sacred tree and its altar. For servants, my wife and I, and this place is anything more than a servant's house. Good thing I didn't chop down that tree, it seems sacred. How can you survive this place being all by yourself? He raised his voice, making him sound like a preacher. One day, me and my wife will be but defenseless over people. We've studied Panama and leaves for many decades. I'll heal wounds and illnesses, humans and animals alike, and the beasts even listen to our whispers. The holy seed lets our shells wait for death and strength. What can you tell me about the peninsula? I've lived here for almost a century. Traveled both the paths and through the wilderness. Your voice becomes stronger and it makes you think of a bard. But I will nay bring your guide or a teacher, even if there's anything I wish for. 'Tis that you will stay away from the woods. The creatures get angrier the more we take from them. They do nay listen to our warnings, and one day they'll bury us under a storm of claws and fangs. There will be nay soul to spare or tear a tear after us. His eyes are as harsh as hawks, making him look like a priest who hears a child asking for honey on a day of ceremonial fasting. Do nay poke the hornet's nest. Do nay ride east, and never use the path that runs through the heart of this land. The road was meant to save time, but brings only death. Be a servant, nay an overseer. Do nay try to bend this place to your will. He points and wags his finger over after every word. Your will, anyone's will, is the key to danger, no salvation. I think these instructions are in line with my own thoughts. I'm not going to be anyone's puppet. What about some bandits? Were they bothering you? He strokes his beard. Playing grass nervously. There are souls who steal from White Marshes, a village to the north. They would nay dare to show up here, but those brigands and brutes, simpletons, Ava the leader, Garcia, listens to only force, and will humiliate for the enjoyment of her band. She will nay be afraid of some lost Roadwarden. He lets go of his beard and lowers his head. She's drifted so far away from her old self, kind, bright girl from Gale Rocks, loved by her parents. But now, you nay cross her, or she'll find you. You tell me anything about the altar? He smiles. There's the tree that you should pay attention to, a true gift from the forest. In answers to our offerings and rewards of those magnificent fruits that heal both shell and soul, and make anyone who eats them stronger than they ever were. We gather around the altar whenever winter ends, and whilst it requires a painful sacrifice from all of us, it prepares one soul for the future like nothing else could. I want to know what happened to the village in the east. And like I'm willing to tell you that, he raises a chin and beard. His beard shakes. That shameful tale ought to be kept in the past, for sake of the living. Okay. I can tell him about the druids. He strokes the beard gently. I nay share our powers with strangers. We're on the path of Howler's Den, and his lance around it. This path to the heart of the woods is quite dangerous. It has a long and dark past, and already got many souls as builders. 'Tis paid with blood, and the last 10 years revealed it was surprisingly with how shiny and lively the blueness of his eyes. He glances at you, once again surprising you with how shiny and lively the blueness of his eyes is. Eyes are. That's what. A grand discord, the tribes of this land are locking themselves in their fields and houses, too afraid to leave them behind, too untrusting to meet their own souls. 'Tis nay the first road reclaimed back by the wilderness, and will nay be the last. You ask if you have any tips for you on how to survive such a trip, and he tells you it'd be wiser just to avoid it. Then he reaches to his pockets, grabs a leaf, and puts it in his mouth, chewing gently. Death may take many paths for a stranger, but cast out one of enemies that's both are dangerous in its stealth and its combat. No human can fight it alone. If you see one of them and it's too late, don't provoke it, make it wary, but nay scared. Look big, talk a lot, seek his action in his eyes. Look for a job. Looks at the garden bed. We have everything we need. I assume he's not gonna let me in the cat there. Okay, well he's there. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna save here. Can I enter the cavern? I'll allow a stranger to do such a thing. That's what I thought. I'll reload just in case that's not. I'm gonna move more north now, a little more. You slow down among the shrubs. A small pack of dragonlines is feasting on the carcass of young Ouch. One of them, with red feathers on its arm, straightens up and gives you a curious glance. Its head tilts left and right, forward and back. It screeches at you, but it doesn't move forward and returns to its meal. You wonder what happened if you were on foot. Would they let you be satisfied with their prey, or would they run after you? But if so, for what reason? Now we have enough space to move forward, yet stay safe. Powerful jaws break the monster's bones loudly, then bite off and swallow chunks of meat. I ride forward but keep my distance and look over my shoulder. A little town. Where are we now? We're up here. There's several paths that go from here. We haven't, there's a lot of map we have yet to go to, and we got 40 days. That's interesting. Alright. Being road serves your palate well. The forest to your left becomes sparse and brighter, and there are dozens of human-made paths among the fruit-bearing trees. On your right, there's a large pasture with at least a dozen massive mouflons. 2 of them already sheared. Look comically small, and soon after that, you ride amongst vast, flourishing fields filled with rye, still green, preparing itself patiently for the second harvest. The path ends with a massive wooden gate, stone wall separating you from the glow of light behind it. It isn't as tall as the roofs, but you can't imagine climbing to its top. There are pretty much no cracks, no missing bricks, a sign of many hours of labor. Especially considering how massive the settlement is, as wide as the city district. The birds, the birds and monkeys are now just a distant echo, replaced with the sounds of carts, running, hammers, saws, laughter, and shouts. Maybe I can rest here. A young man is leaning against a closed gate, covered in, just startled me. Thank you, pretty music. How dare you? The young man is leaning against a closed gate, covered by its shadow. He's young, tanned, and has short, elegantly trimmed red beard. Beneath the green gambeson, he wears an expensive tunic decorated with colorful trim. From his arms hangs a steel helmet, but the helmet is so thin that it's mostly made of wool and leather. He moves into the light and takes on the posture of a disciplined soldier, not a mercenary. He stands upright with his chin up. There are 2 weapons on the ground, leaning on a wooden beams at the gate. An axe made of steel and a wooden club. He doesn't reach for either. He dismounts smoothly, still having some vigor left, and Billy Bob holds its tail high. A narrow path leads north, towards 2 field workers. One One with a hoe and one with a pitchfork. They wave to you. You can't see their faces, but their claws are simple. Gray pants and vests made from hemp and wool. I'll wave back. Why not? They talk for a bit, looking towards you and pointing at your mount, then walk away, disappearing behind a wall's corner. The guard smiles yet avoids your eyes and has to clear his throat before he speaks. Welcome, traveler. If you're nay here to make trouble, Howard's Dell welcomes you. We have the whitest flower there is. When he bows, you realize it's a well-practiced performance. If it's no garments you're looking for, you can order anything you need right here, in all colors, shapes, and sizes. Capes, boots, vests, robes, or if you're yourself a master of needle, I can assure you we have the fabric you're looking for. His act is over and he glances at your mount in a moment of silence. His eyes get wider as he observes it with a childlike fascination. Helps me patrol the road. You can pet its side if you want, but no sudden movements. He follows your instructions, and even though his palfrey pays no attention to the man's careful touch, the guard grins widely. I'm Red. I'm your new Roadwarden. I'd like to see your mayor. A city folk, eh? The mayor is busy, but I'll ask her. Give us a moment to let you in. He knocks at the gate, which is then pulled inward by two guards, a man and a woman, wearing their own garbesons. Similarly green but tailor-made to match their figures. The nearby buildings are simple houses made of wooden beams and covered with thatch, while the store's house is even more modest, with a roof made of planks. The watchtower has a ladder made of ropes and sticks, not stairs. Just give me a moment. The guard strides away before he finishes his last word. The other closed the gate behind him, and you observe your mount carefully. Your eyes run east to a humming creek running through the center of the village. Wait for the return of the messenger. Calming sound, eh? The Howler's Creek. The guard, most likely one of the locals, is taller than you. Wide but shallow. There's nay been a flood in years. A pale pa told me there used to be nay bridges. Neighbors cross in with their boots in their hands, and 'tis clean like a raindrop. There are many fishes. We're the cleanest village in the north, her companion chuckles brightly. When the guard returns, he's still alone. She can nay come now. A friend of mine is in labor, eh? The mayor wants to be there when the child arrives, but I was asked to show you the village. I nod. Fine. He approaches the watchtower. 'Tis your mount here. We'll keep the kids away. Most of the neighbors are getting ready to celebrate. Once you're done, he grabs the rope ladder. The view from up here is gorgeous. I'll climb after him. Even though the ladder swings in all directions, the guard gets to the top quickly, like a monkey climbing up creepers. You, on the other hand, need to stop and wait for the ladder to calm itself. When you join the man on the wooden platform, you're a little bit dizzy. He's leaning on the wooden parapet, observing the area with a smile. I look around. Wow. The sun became much brighter on my screen. First village I reached was Haller's Den. Oh, we have a bunch of little achievements up here. It's probably gonna go all around. See, this place is like Haller's Den. The guard points in every direction, giving you no time to contemplate. For the first few minutes, he describes the field and their crops, the flocks in their pastures, and the shepherds inspecting the fences. The ancient garden of trees and bushes, larger than the village itself, sunlight dancing on the stream of its own tune. If you are to believe anything he describes, this place has access to everything in abundance. Sweet as honey, the most fragrant bread, soft as wool, and beer, 'tis excellent. It sounds like a city merchant who's trying to sell an old house. No wonder he's so proud. Why wouldn't he be? There's a tamed scrap of land and live in comfort. The islet in the middle connects both parts of the village. According to the man, the northern gate is hardly ever opened, as it leads nowhere now. Near the eastern gate, there's an ale inn where you can find a bed and victuals and the stall where Echolas rewards our work, unless we annoy him with pointless talk. He lets out a chuckle. On the opposite side of the creek, there's another white house. It belongs to Bayan, the best clother in the north. The priest lives in the southeast near the wall, but they do nae talk to strangers. You also hear about the hunter, the cooper, the fisher, the miller, the pie maker, this was his sister, the baker, the smith and her husband, the carpenter, live with their kids. Some of the larger buildings could accommodate 2, maybe even 3 generations at once. There could be more than 100 dwellers here. He considers stopping his speech, but then he suddenly points at the islet again. There, see? The mayor's coming, the one wearing the purple. You're free to join her, traveler. I nod and climb down. Try to get down quickly, but 2 steps are enough to make you sure it's a bad idea. You wait for the ladder to find its balance. You're relieved when you touch the ground again. You untie your palfrey and follow the guard. You pass a small pasturage surrounded by a wooden fence, a few loose chickens and tethered boar. The fancier buildings are covered with whitewash coating and surrounded with vegetables and herbs and flowers. The bridges are wide enough to carry even a wagon, but for Billy Bob, walking on the wooden beam is far from pleasant. The islet is empty, but you notice an empty stall painted with the shape of colorful flowers. You walk over the second bridge. Along the entire path, you notice more and more people observing you, smiling or casually greeting you as they're focused on their own tasks. Finally, you reach the main square. A large tree grows in the center, surrounded by dark water, held together by a thin wall. Perfect for sitting, but the smell is coming from the liquid makes you think of rotten eggs. The plant reminds you that of a tree you saw in the south, next to the swamp altar. Interesting. In the north, you see the Ape Ale Inn, judging by the tables, stools, and benches outside of it. It's open for guests. The villagers are chatting and dining loudly, and you catch their curious glances on the side of the dining area. The merchant is arguing with a tall, broad-shouldered worker, an old man sitting by himself, eating a pie with a walking stick leaning against the table. A young woman is cleaning the empty mugs in the creek, speaking with a man at least twice her age, maybe her father. I need a spot to tether Billy Bob. There's a wide wooden roof right next to the gate that shelters carts, crates, and sacks. Move your mount next to a donkey, a beam placed here just for this purpose. Without a moment of hesitation, Billy Bob starts to chew on a nearby haystack. You have some time to make sure it doesn't struggle with your bundles. You return to the inn. I look for the mayor and I approach her. She's sitting on a chair with a 4-legged boy. 4-year-old. It's a bit different. I was thinking of horses, and so it made me think of 4-legged. A 4-legged boy! No, he's only got 2 legs. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. He's only got 2 legs. On her knees, she's holding his hand gently, showing him how to eat gruel from a bowl. It's not a cheap meal, though you spot nuts, berries, and milk. And the added honey makes it yellowish. The kid is clean and quiet, and once he notices your arrival, he crams his mouth with a spoonful of oats. Now, love, the mayor chitters. Do nae get distracted. She rubs the meal off his face. A few more spoons and you'll go to help Papa in the kitchen, eh? She gives you a radiant, though apologetic smile, then turns her attention back to her companion. I observe her more closely. Her long, fully sleeved linen dress must have been dyed once in blue and once in red to achieve its dark, fancy purple, which would draw looks even in Havlon. From her left shoulder hangs a green woolen cape, as thin as a shawl. A brown belt on her waist has large steel buckle that portrays a running deer with unrealistically large antlers, growing in all directions like tree branches. Unlike her tribesfolk, she's pale, with powdered and rose cheeks, and her lips match her outfit, though they are a bit closer to wine red. The thick, gray strands in her long blonde hair look more like a fashion choice as a result of aging. Her eyes are the color of cape, keen and vigorous. She's shorter than most people around, though would still be the tallest woman in most of the northern settlements. While she is around 40, her slim hands and fragility to her appearance, even though her posture is upright. Her legs confidently crossed, and her delicate voice is assertive. She makes plenty of gestures, but her shoulders hardly ever move, sorry. Wait for as long as it takes. After a few more minutes, the boy lets out a gentle cough, and after a pat on the back, the mayor puts him on the ground. You did a great job, love, but now I need to speak with our guest. Darling, she addresses one of the inn-workers, a girl close to 15. Take him to father, will you? Her tone suddenly gets firmer, leaving no hint of question or suggestion. Yes, ma, she responds. Both her hair and her eyes are nothing like those of her brother. Neither of the kids resemble their mother. So I have a Roadwarden again. Please sit down. She vaguely shows you the palm of her open hand, letting you pick any place you want. Since I'm her guest, I sit on the bench next to her, or I sit on the stool opposite of her. I'm here as a trade partner. Flowing water hits silently the rocks of wind stakes surrounding the aisle, and splits into two stream beds. In Havilon, the river is surrounded by tall walls, protecting the banks from deterioration, and the water is seldom free of dirt. Here, the smell is as fresh as it would be in the woods. The mayor observes your outfit carefully, first looking as if she just ate an onion, but then put on a polite smile. Once your eyes meet, she hardly ever looks away. I'm sure you're hungry. My husband will bring us something soon. I appreciate it. Do not mention it. Hunger makes me peevish, and the days is too nice for that. She taps her chest and looks at a flock of birds that fly above you loudly, heading south. As for waiting, be so good as to help me understand something. Ava is but a mercenary. I can't nay imagine a single reason for you to choose this realm for your wandering. Nay, so long after her staring disappearance. The nay glory of treasures to find her. Her pale fingers form a tent on her stomach, then clasp, leaving the forefingers pointing at you. You were sent here by the merchants that want the peninsula. I'll explain the situation. You introduce yourself and confirm her suspicions. The guild of deputies are in agreement that are willing to send troops to this place, defend the settlements, and patrol the roads. They cover their pay. You'd only have to look after their board and lodging. You explain that the rate of taxes are open to negotiation, but they would be taken twice a year in spring and fall. You have time to think about it, you assure her, and you're free to consult with your people. Safer roads bring many travelers. Asterian's merchants, I know. Many travelers, Asterian's merchants, I know you realize it's an opportunity. Yes, I do, she finally interrupts you. Roads bring other people as well. Not all of them desired by us. As she observes your palfrey, she twists her deer buckle left and right, left and right. Times have changed, and your superiors were kind to send a messenger, not a temple guard with a list of demands. She grasps the buckle over her fist. But when it comes to the guild, there's always a catch. Her accent is now almost identical to one used in the city. Speaking from experience, I assume. Do I really sound that confident? She titters and waves her hand by her chin, as if you just offered her a compliment. I've seen negotiations during my studies. Though I can't say I took an active part in them. Let me show you an example. She theatrically clears her throat, patting her chest with one hand and covering her mouth with another, then leans forward and rests on her elbows, allowing her hands to freely make gestures. We make a deal with the settlement, flour and wool in exchange for coin and tools. You send the first traders, and they imply that you're ready to pay more for, let's say, parchment. Months later, you want no more rye. Just the parchment and wool. We can nay butcher any more mouflons, locals say. Don't worry, you answer. We'll send you a smack flock. turn out one of your fields into a pasturage. As she pretends to speak as different characters, her voice comically shifts, and she has no issue switching between accents. I encourage her with a kind smile. Swings her hand above the table. Another year goes by, and while there are more parchments, the village lacks some crops. The tribe needs not just tools and coins, plenty of coins, but also seeds. And the guild is not satisfied. Sending our wagons costs a lot, and there are more highways now. If you want to come to us again, you need more Malflins and sell us their cheese. And guess what? With a haunting laugh, she straightens up and spreads her arms like someone a third her age. Turns out that the village can't say no more. They lack supplies, seeds, and lands. They can't refuse. I've no doubt that smart leader like yourself is going to protect these people from these games. Oh, how wonderful. Keep the compliments coming. No soul in the square reacts to her loud laughter. But all that doesn't mean I can't counter every single city ploy on my own. That's the good thing about living here. There's kind people all around us. She nods towards two little girls that are carrying a basket filled with vegetables between them. If some of us struggle, we all have to deal with the consequences. We all struggle. We all benefit. But Haviland, if they see a profit in chopping off our arms, they'll send them to the first bidder. She gives you a sad glance, but cheers up after a sigh. Let's finish introductions. I'm Theus, one of the keepers of Ape Ale Inn, and the mayor of Howler's Den. I assume it would be convenient for you to take my answer back to Haviland. She wonders a moment. Say, when could we expect the first caravan? After winter? It depends on what you can sell and what you want in return. While the conversation goes, the food gets served. The refreshing aroma of roasted mutton covered with a thick sauce made of mint, parsley, and honey tempt to bite in right away. The juices are sinking into the round venture. A plate made of simple brown bread. There's also a small bowl filled with chopped red radishes and sliced boiled eggs, and a mug filled with cold buttermilk. It's all brought by a few young people, all of them referring to the mayor as their mother. And in the end, the innkeeper himself shows up to wish you a good meal. He's wearing a clean orange tunic and not so clean apron made of hemp. He politely introduces himself as Eric's, and after confirming you won't get sick from what he's prepared, he leaves you and his wife to your conversation. Theus tears the meat into smaller pieces and eats slowly, often expressing an enjoyment with a hum. Meanwhile, we get to the important stuff. Sounds like the nearby ground is fertile. The village would gladly pay its taxes in grain and vegetable, with the expectation that a squad of soldiers would provide additional protection. Our youth is strong, she claims proudly, so we don't need your guards on our walls. But a lone Roadwarden won't keep the roads passable. We need fighters willing to patrol the paths, maybe even in the heart of the woods. That's what we'd expect in return. You're not an expert when it comes to linen, cheese, and wool, so the mayor spends a good couple of minutes describing the outstanding quality of what the village has to offer, especially the clothes, which are meant to be as unique as they made by Master Crispus. You vaguely recognize the name as a tailor shoemaker. You've never heard enough to pay him for such a single sleeve. And of course, you will never reject some steel and bronze. We lack alloys for sickles and size. Then repeats her questions, starting a trade route. Truth be told, the guild's not sure what the peninsula has to offer. It's going to take more than your village to convince them. Understandable, but you won't find much in other tribes. They have barely enough to survive, even after they trade with our camp. Even for our crops, we have the only decent soil in this realm. At least the people of Gale Rock have salts and bales of fish, while Creek sells meats and wood. Actually, if you haven't been in Creeks yet, the farthest village in the northeast, you could give them a chance. She nods with a smile. They could use your help with keeping their roads safe. White marshes, on the other hand, and old Pagos are close to worthless, for a trade route, that is. She clears her throat. After these words, she stands up, walks to another table, and offers her trencher to an elderly man, sitting there by himself. With a trembling voice, he thanks her, then starts to chew on the soggy bread. She sits down, wipes her hands in a clean cloth, adjusts the folds of her cape, and once again crosses her leg. So tell me, Red, how is Havilon? I haven't gathered much news since the invasion. You say stumble, but they're starting to look brighter. The harbor is full of life, and the kids grow strong. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Not everyone has their own bed, but the new generation is ready to start their own fight. Let's go with the first one. This one's nice. I was hoping to hear that. Her smile shines with kindness. I thought they were done for, losing all those ships and getting cut off from the many tribes. I'm surprised the soldiers didn't butcher all the priests, filled their stomachs. It felt so unavoidable that I would come back home. I'm afraid for my life, but I still carry memories of that place. Most of them warm. I'm glad the others haven't given up. Her smile fades away as she speaks without looking in your direction, give you a moment of rest. The first time I crossed the city wall and saw the street, my soul saw them as if they were made of dragon bones, not stone. All those people and the noise, and high houses, and this life happening all around me. But after only 2 years, everything collapsed for the first time in human memory, like a burning dollhouse. She pauses, rests her hand on her stomach, and then turns back to you. Don't let me drag you away from your duties. How can I help you, Red? I'm looking for a Astarion. He stares at you in the eyes, then turns towards Billy Bob. Is your pal Freya mare? We have 2 jacks. We could use some mules. It is when he's so strong and healthy. Right, there's no time for romance and draught animals. It would take almost a year, correct? It was all just a thought. When our eyes returned to you, they regained their sharpness. I'd rather avoid long talks about that man. Let him remain as part of the past spring. Since you're asking about him, I only can assume that was indeed sharing his goal with yours. Won't deny that. Yet you're already different from him. I like it when travelers don't try to sell me bluegrass. Seeing you frown, she waves it off. She's saying, his words were stronger than his deeds. He's no longer welcome here, or his wrongdoings. If you have known, he had failed and won't get a second chance. He was meant to escort Agidia, a daughter of mine, to his betrothed in Gale Rocks. She was a great archeress. And the road from here to the coast is not that dangerous. When they saw goblins on the road, Astarion ordered her to push through, biked into their trap. She touches her deer-shaped buckle. They got jumped like a bunch of wealthy pilgrims. A Roadwarden worthy their gruel should know better. They can fight with a blade, but my girl, she never had a chance. She sighs and looks at the gate. He disappeared soon after his pitiful attempt at apologizing to me, and we close our doors behind him for good. Let you know if he ever tries to return. And any idea where I can look from? You adjust her cape and with an annoyed shrug. Try asking him in the north. He spent most of his time between white marshes and Gale Rocks and creeks. Here, he wasn't eager to share his plans. Did you ever find your daughter? For a few months, for a few breaths, her green eyes seek something in your face. Her words are careful yet hesitant. She's with the fogs now. The goblins were after food, so they carried her shell away. One day she's going to charge out our walls, broken and empty. Even though she was a bit mawkish, her heart was strong and patient. She listened to people, was ready to help them and to cry with them. I could tell you stories of what for. Let the dead rest. We're quite a big family. She titters weakly. At one point, there were 12 kids living at our house. 9 girls, 3 boys. They come and go, as it should be. A few are already with the forest, but most are all grown now. Even started their own families. She looked away at a girl wiping spilled milk on a wet cloth. To be perfectly clear, they aren't exactly our children. It's a custom to village for the mayor to look after the orphans. Thankfully, Eric's has a big heart and much more patience than I do. She speaks, her smile widens. Thank you for your help. I wonder, back in Haviland, did you spend any time in the backwood corner? It used to be this dark, dirty alley with muggers working even in daylight. I stayed there with Octavia, the miller, in exchange for doing chores for her. She had this small wooden hut. That's the more even the soldiers have avoided that street. People say it's home to thugs. You wouldn't recognize this now respectable street with one of the fanciest inns in the city, the Apple and Boar. It would make you feel like you're in old days. The Boar Head Inn is almost 50 years old now. Explain that whilst the place is still called the bad part of the city, the Boarhead is good coin selling beer and ale to students, mercenaries, and adventurers. The whole land may turn wild one day, you quote. The local traders, but backwood corner will say the same. She sighs with relief and puts her left hand on her hip. Comforting, don't you think, that there are these places in dark corners where you can always find what you expect. Living there, it sounds awful and always was. I bet the thugs of my youth are no longer around, so I wouldn't count on them giving me a free pass. But I wish I could have a chance to drink a mug or two with the innkeeper once more. The old lady was always too good to stay in that muck. You've heard about the necromancer in the north? She taps her finger on her table. Yes, I have. After you ask her to tell you more, she seems to regain her confidence. You mean White Marshes for sure. I don't know all that much about what's happening there. We avoid their lands, if we can. She frowns. I shouldn't gossip about this, strangers. We could talk about it in another occasion. You seem fairly well off, even more than so than the other people in the village. What's your secret? She reaches for a buckle and her own voice grows cold. There's no secret, traveler. There's hard work, risks and sacrifice, and support of those that care about me. The good things that happen to me shine on my people just as me. Think about it before you mention it again. She adjusts her cape. What will you do to make you consider joining Haviland? Ah, I can consider right now, how she laughs. Her eyes remain keen. But if you want me to give you some answers, let's see. She looks up to the right, theatrically raising her hand to her chin. Some gestures of goodwill would be a great start, since you're the guild's messenger. I need to know you can be relied on. She gives you a wide, white grin. And that's only the first step, I assume. Of course. Do you ever have to... Do you have the power to handle tax negotiations? She scoffs loudly at your head shake. Do enough for my village and I'll hand you a beautiful signed letter. A list of all the things my neighbors are looking for, as well as what you can give in return. Your superiors are going to see more than enough to prepare for their offer. She rubs her hands. I think that's fair. Yeah, looks like we're in agreement. Perfect. One more thing though. She puts her elbows on the table, leaning closer to you. If you go behind my back, I'm not going to wait for a dagger. I'll end you first. Rests her chin against her open palms, giving you the disarmingly warm smile. I'm sure people already know that we have a new Roadwarden. Maybe ask around to see if anyone needs your help. The more my neighbors trust you, the more trust and need you, the more willing and they'll be to offer you at better pay. Well, let's start here. What can I do for you? Ah, so kind of you to ask. But before I ask you to run, let's see how you can walk, shall we? Her eyes wander left and right. She gestures for a nearby guard to move away. He nods and gestures at a few other souls to follow him. While a few of the locals cast curious looks at you, they turn away as quickly as you notice them. The mayor's shiny green eyes are still locked on you, and her voice is closer to a whisper. Since Hysterian's disappearance, there's little trade on the roads, and not much new reaches us. Be so kind. Her flirtatious tone distracts you with how obviously fake it is. It helped you learn some interesting tales about our neighbors. You mean the ones that weren't meant to reach you? See, I knew that deep down you're a true sage. She titters, straightens up, adjusting her cape eyes. You have something to share? Nah, I'm not gonna say anything. Tell me, how do people dress in the city these days? Is it similar that we have here? Before the war, the merchants were wearing those really long dresses and robes. Way too long for my taste. They got mud stains after every rain, and I see no reason to keep shoes completely hidden. Some of our tunics. At least we can hope that the visitors arrive won't stand out much. She laughs, but also adjusts her dress, drawing attention to superb quality. And who knows, maybe our little village here is going to help those unfortunate clothiers. I'm sure we could spare a couple of sheets of fabric. Weird tree, I'll mention it. She straightens up and raises her chin. You mean Beholder, the guardian spirit of our wetlands. Every fall we bring gifts in return and provides us with the blessed fruit, the flesh of the forest. She stares into your eyes. It's older than the oldest books and the oldest thoughts. The Druids help us honor its sleep and show us how to ask for its help. Near these rituals, scoffs would be of use for you. I'm going to mention the Garcia's band. When you mention the raids on the northern village, her eyes narrow. Are you sure? It's the first I've heard about it. Garcia has been around since years back, but she's not much of a nuisance. I'm just a messenger who's asking for you to join forces with him. Well, I can't give you my answer. I won't ask our hunters to endanger their lives in the pursuit of some gossip. I can ask around and learn more about this. She sighs with exasperated relief. What a splendid idea. There are only 3 villages in the north, White Marshes farther north by Western Road, Gale Rocks by the northern coast, and creeks by the far east. Bring me news from these places and you'll get your answer. So I can do that. We talk and talk, but still know where you're from, Red. What's your story? Have you lived in Hovland your entire life? Small village nearby, moved away to city after I decided to look for work. It's a Roadwarden, I'll say that. First time after being surrounded by a couple of small houses and fields. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Puts her hand on our table. Even after my second winter there, I felt like a stranger. For those who know how to live in the countryside and close to the wilderness, we will always find a new home for ourselves, don't you think? It gives you an encouraging smile. I'll say thank you for your time. And I think it's around 2:50. So I think we'll end it there. Playing for quite a bit now. Yes, I want to quit. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for some of these words. English. I spent so much time talking a bunch on the stream that I completely forgot how English words work. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming to the stream. That's all right game. I will say. I'll be honest. I think it was all right. Maybe I play it more off camera, but maybe it's not the greatest stream game because it's all a lot of talking, like constant talking. And not much else. So, but we'll be back next Friday, which is not our 1-year anniversary. It's the following week. We'll be back on Friday with another game, and tomorrow with the improv story, Monday as per usual. Until then, I'm head back out to space. If you're in space, I'll see you there. And if not, then I won't. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.